As much as I love the wildlife and the amazing encounters I have as a volunteer, it's the people, the monitors and the other volunteers, that really make the experiences so special for me. Without a doubt, it's the camaraderie that draws me back to Wildlife Act time and again.
What I miss the most about being out in the bush with Wildlife Act is just waking up early every day, going out for monitor drives, and just protecting the endangered species that roam the savannah of South Africa.
Well, there's those late night sounds that you hear of the lions roaring and the hyenas hooing, and there's always that wonderful sound of the dogs twittering. Really miss that. I really miss the dog smell. I mean, if I could smell the dogs right now, I would immediately get so excited and happy knowing that they're close by. I miss all the fun and laughter of being with everybody and the adventures, the roller coaster adventures that we have, the sightings, of course, and the thrill of actually tracking with our telemetry and getting a visual on a particular priority species. That's a thrill. But really, I just miss the comradeship that we all have with one another and the opportunity to meet new friends and make lifetime friends, really.
It's crazy how I'm missing Wildlife Act right now, especially the early mornings. Although they were early, we saw the most amazing animals, and it was also so cool to change the camera traps, to look at the images, to identify the animals, and to just be present there.
There are so many things I miss from my time at Wildlife Act, but I guess three things spring to mind. The sound of the nightjar on our evening drives, the roar of a lion, that still sends a shiver down my spine, and that air of anticipation and excitement every day when we set off on our morning and evening sessions. I can't wait to get back because I genuinely feel that volunteers make a real contribution to the conservation of South Africa's wildlife.
I even miss leaving camp for a monitoring session at 4:30 in the morning with 5 layers of clothes on.
I miss sitting around the braai after a long day of fieldwork while hearing the hyenas call and looking out for shooting stars.
Like everybody else, I'm missing my fix of the South African bush, from those early mornings sitting waiting for the wild dogs and watching the bush come alive, to the evenings when the sun goes down and there are sometimes storms in the distance, and you just listen for the daytime bird sound to stop and the night times the owls and everybody else waking up. I cannot recommend it enough to anybody. It's an amazing experience. It's hard work. I particularly miss my elephants and my gorgeous wild dogs, and made so many friends over there.
Meeting some wonderful people. I think that's what's been fantastic during this time of COVID, realising just how many amazing like-minded people I've met from around the world. And we've come together on a Zoom call quite regularly to talk all things conservation, Wildlife Act and all the amazing experiences we've had at the different reserves, and just to support each other. That's something I'm always going to be really grateful to Wildlife Act for.
When you've been with Wildlife Act and it's wherever you go, you pay attention to so many more little things. It's in the sounds you hear around you, not only from the birds but also from the insects. It's in the trails and the tracks you find on the ground. It makes you curious and wonder what's out in the woods. And it might not be a lion or a hyena, but it might be a badger or a deer, in my case, in Europe. And it's that feeling of connectedness that wherever you go, you share that experience with your fellow volunteers, your monitors, and you still get to be out there and experience the same thing all over again.